Okay, so tonight is, I believe, Wednesday night. Is tonight Wednesday night, Jim?
Yes, it is.
Okay, tonight's Wednesday night. I have no idea what the actual date is. That would be November 7th. Okay, so I am at the Holiday Inn Express in Van Horn, Texas, on Interstate 10 Business. Not really sure what the business means because it doesn't seem like there's an actual lot of business going on in Van Horn, but nevertheless, here we are. So, I am trying to branch out into new avenues of video blogness here. So I am thinking that I will entertain all the blog people out there by reciting some poetry. Now, poetry, you may ask, why the hell is he doing this? The answer to that is, I don't know. So I'm bored and I'm going to recite this. This is a poem that is by a fellow by the name of Robert Service. Now, I got turned on to Robert Service a number of years ago by my dad. He ordered a book of poetry by Robert Service, and it had a bunch of really cool poems in it. And I liked them because they rhymed. So I thought, it's a poem, therefore it's got to rhyme. This one rhymes. So let me see if I can recite this properly. This is one that I actually recited for a speech contest back in high school. I don't remember what year it was, but it seemed like it was a speech contest in high school, so I'm going to pretend that it actually happened back then. So let me see if I can do this. Alright. Alright, so here we go. The Cremation of Sam McGee. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows, while he left his home in the South to roam round the pole. God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say, in his homely way, he'd sooner live in hell. On Christmas Day, we were mushing away over Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. Though our eyes we'd close till the lashes froze, till sometimes you couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel to toe. He turned to me and, Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking you that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says, with a sort of moan, it's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold till it chilled clean through to the bone. Yet 'tain't being dead, it's my awful dread of the ice gray, the pains. So I want you to swear that, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains. Well, pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the break of dawn. But God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven. The corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains. Now, a promise made is dead unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless knows. Oh God, how I loathe the thing! And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went. The dogs were spent, and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in, and I'd often sing to the heartful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw it in a trice. It was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit. I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, I said, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom did see. I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. And I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear 'em sizzle so, and the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the winds began to blow, and the hot smoke like an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. Now I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with the grisly fear, but the stars came out, and they danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, and I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside, and I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked in the door. I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile, you could see a mile. And he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Alright, I like that one for some reason. It's pretty good. Maybe later on, if you post on down the line, I'll do one called The Shooting of Dan McGrew. I like that one. Y'all take a look at that and see what y'all think about that. Alright, so tomorrow I'm going to do some real fascinating shit. I'm going to go down to the Culberson County Courthouse, which is just a few blocks over and up. It's a little one-story structure there, and do a little title work on some land that I own here. Culberson County, 5 acres. It's 5 acres out in the middle of nowhere. I'll try and take some pictures, maybe throw them up on the webpage. Take a look at the webpage, web.mac.com/Justin.long, and tell me what y'all think about that. I suspect there'll be a lot of scrub, tumbleweeds, cactus, a bit of barbed wire, and probably some road shoulder, since I'll be taking it from the car. Looked on the map, and I figured out that from the road to where this acreage is located is probably about 2 miles. So I'm not real willing to trek across some of the guy's land, especially jumping over some barbed wire out there in the middle of West Texas, because chances are some guy might come out there with a shotgun. I want to know what the hell I'm doing out there, so I'm gonna sit tight from the side of the car and take a few pictures, send them out y'all's way. So tomorrow night we'll probably end up in Carlsbad, New Mexico, not too far away from here. Not exactly sure how far, but it's not far. So there are some caverns out there, Carlsbad Caverns. Check them out and take a look at those. See what they look like. There's some difference between the stalactites and stalagmites. One goes up, one goes down. I'm trying to figure that out. Don't really know yet, but I'll let you know. I'm sure you'll probably know already. So that's about it. I'm running out of time here, so I'll talk to you fellas later. Ladies, girls, guys, whatever. And have fun. Goodbye.